So hi there JWR race fans, I thought I'd put another video out for you guys. It's been a little bit quiet over the last few weeks, I know, with the real world race series starting. I've obviously got a bit busier with getting the car prepared for that, going away and racing, and then I did a little bit of a race report video for you guys after Donington Park, which was good fun. So I know quite a few of you watched that, and I've had people get in touch saying they liked it, they enjoyed it, seeing it from the sort of driver's eye view, as it were. I think a lot of you are pretty keen fans anyway, so would have been aware of the results and how it was going from my own Instagram and Facebook channels. And quite a lot of people actually watched it live on the BRSCC and Caterham Cars YouTube channels as well. So I don't think the result was a great surprise to many of you, but yeah, I thought it would be nice to put my own words behind it and talk through some of the exciting action-packed bits that that happened to me whilst I was out there. And it certainly was pretty action-packed, as certainly race 3 was anyway. Overall went really well though. As I said at the time, I'm really happy to come away from that with a second and third, fastest lap in there as well, and to be sitting second in the championship is amazing. This year there's a really high level of driving. I think we had about 17 or 18 cars, and I'm the only one that's an independent really. Or in fact, there are two officially. Lars Hoffman is an independent officially as well, although he is actually a Caterham dealer. And he and his dad come over from Germany to race with us each time in the UK series. So I kind of feel like I'm pretty much the only independent driver out there. So to be somewhere up near the front of the grid is great fun. It's really great to be up there and yeah, taking the fight to the professional race teams.
Wingfield steals it.
So today I thought I'd just do a quick preview video for you really. We've got round 2 coming up next weekend at Knockhill, so we're going to make the journey up to Scotland. And yeah, this is a little preview. We have raced there once before in the Caterhams, albeit we went the other way round. Knockhill is one of the few circuits, probably in the world really, not many circuits can do this, but certainly I think it's about the only one, or one of very few in the UK, that you can actually run clockwise or anti-clockwise. And in 2018 the Caterham Championships as a whole all went up to Knockhill, and we ran in the reverse direction, as it's called. At the time I was running in a 270 spec, and yeah, had a decent race. It was good fun. I've actually got some onboard footage, so I was going to talk you through that video in a minute. But yeah, so we've got some footage to talk through of the track in the reverse direction, but no one's really raced there, or certainly Caterham haven't raced there in the normal clockwise direction, to my knowledge at all, but certainly not for a long time anyway. It may have been a number of years ago. I don't think any of the drivers in the series now will have raced in this direction in a Caterham. And in fact, I'm probably one of the few that has driven it in the clockwise direction at all. Back in kind of my first driving career, if you like, when I was a younger teenager, I was actually racing. I was really lucky to do some single-seater racing with the likes of Sam Bird, who you might know from Formula E, and a whole load of other drivers who kind of got into Formula 1 as test drivers. But back then I was doing Formula BMW, so a single-seater, slicks and wings, downforce car, and we managed to go up there supporting the touring car on the Tocker package, and we did a race at Knockhill back in the mid-noughties it was at the time. So I have driven it a long time ago. It was great fun. I know the track is hugely entertaining in both directions, so I'm going to talk you through this video in the reverse direction, and then kind of explain a few of the things, a few of my thoughts about how it could go in the forwards direction. So for this reverse lap, you can see I'm actually in third place as we start this lap. Ahead of me is first and second. So first place is Pete Walters, the same Pete Walters who's leading the championship at the moment in the 310s. But back then he was racing with me in 270. And Gary Smith was in second place here. He's not racing with us unfortunately anymore. I think he's doing some other stuff instead, racing elsewhere. But yeah, we had a good little battle here. So you can see as we start the video. In this direction, it's a downhill straight from the start line into what is turn 1. That's a very tight left-hand hairpin. It's quite a sharp hairpin. Unusually, a lot of times you have more open, wider radius corners. You can certainly have a 180-degree corner, a bit like Druids maybe at Brands Hatch, where it's quite a long corner, and you can play with the car and change your racing line almost through the corner. Here at Knockhill, it's very much a Shropshire in and out type corner. So it's going to be interesting to see the exact lines that we want to take. And you can see the two cars up ahead are racing each other. So as they both go to the inside, trying to sort of jostle for position, I can take a wider racing line, and I'm able to come out a bit cleaner than them and close up a little bit down this next straight. As we come down the straight, we're heading into a fast right-hander. It's flat out right-hander, but you do have to start braking ahead of the left-hand corner that's coming. Left-hand corner here, over a slight crest at the apex, and then we're heading up to the chicane, which is probably the most famous part of the Knockhill circuit. In this reverse direction, we actually kind of jump off a curb and the track drops away from you, so you really land quite hard here. Plenty of really nice action shots from all the photographers. I know Snappy John, as we call him, but John Bryant is looking forward to getting back up to Knockhill, because there's going to be a whole load of great photos that he'll take of all the drivers, so keep an eye out on Snappy Races for all the photos that come out of that. You can see I'll post all the ones of myself anyway, or a lot of them anyway. But yeah, some great action shots with the car, all four wheels in the air, at least in the reverse direction. I suspect it's probably going to be similar this way round as well, though. We'll see. Yeah, so we land pretty hard off the chicane, come down the hill. Left-hand corner is fairly tight, actually. I think in the sort of forwards direction is probably going to be a bit less of an influence, but there's a little bit of a corner here, and then a bit of a braking zone into a kind of 90-degree left. We've got a fast right, and then we're going, strangely, I suppose in this direction, we're going up Duffer's Dip. Rather than being a dip, as it were, in the forward direction, we're climbing up Duffer's Dip. Again, a little bit of apex curb on the left, and it jumps you over, a little bit more airborne time, and it jumps you over towards the outside curb. Land on the straight, and we've got an uphill run to the start line here. I get a great little toe off Gary, and perfect timing as I pull out of that toe. Pete Walters has jumped right in front of me for a double toe, so I got a double toe on this lap, which I think is probably one of the main reasons that made the lap time so quick. That's actually the standing lap record for the 270. Yeah, it'll be slightly different in the other direction, and obviously with the 310 spec car that I'm now racing, in theory we should be a little bit quicker. Time will tell as to what lap times we actually get. So yeah, that's the lap in the reverse direction. When we're going forwards, we're going to be having an uphill start off the start line. It actually levels out and drops down again, so you end up uphill out the hairpin, probably over the start line, and then it starts to come back downhill again. Duffer's Dip is turn 1, and it's blind exit of the corner, as many of them will be, so it's very much a case of get the car turned in, probably use all the curb on the inside, and then the track will drop away from you, so we'll drop down round to turn 2, which is a sort of medium speed left-hander, really all about positioning the car. Want to get nice and wide to the left of the track for the entry into turn 3. Fairly decent stop here on the way into turn 3, so there is an outside chance at some overtaking here. It's going to be quite last minute to sort of throw it up the inside and try and nick a place on the brakes, so it's a bit bold. Could be a bit dicey there, but we'll see if it feels like it's an opportunity. Round turn 3, we've then got another right-hander sort of lining up really for the chicane. Not much happening here, I don't think. In the sim work I've been doing, it's not quite flat, but it's close to flat, so when I get there in real life I'll have to see whether it is or isn't flat. Sometimes the sim isn't quite right. Unfortunately, it's not a multi-million pound simulator that I've got at home, so the models that we've got set up, I've done some of my own tuning to get it to match the race car lap times pretty well, but it's not 100% true to life, so we'll still have to see what happens when we get there. Now we're approaching then we'll approach the left-hander for the entry to the chicane. In the sim world, there's been some tyre stacks put on the apex there, and if you touch that, it's going to rip the corner off the car straight away. In real life, they tend not to do that very often because of the amount of damage it does when people hit them. But it's not unheard of. I know a couple of years ago we were racing at Croft and they put tyre stack on the inside of the chicane. And a whole load of cars ripped front corners off and lost races and damaged cars, so it may or may not be there. We'll have to see what's there when we turn up on Thursday. But either way, the target is going to be to get fully over to the left hand side, use all the curb that we can, and try and straight line that chicane as much as possible. The right hand aspect, the right hand apex of that is completely blind because we're going to be so low down and coming up quite a steep hill. You're not going to be able to see the curb at all because it's over the crest. You can't even see the tarmac. So you're literally turning in completely blind based on sort of feel, muscle memory from previous laps, and kind of what you can see around you from the fences and above the tree line. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we all get on with that. And I think we'll be jumping out of the chicane off another apex curve, if you get it right, jumping out the chicane onto the back straight, or the short back straight. Along there, then you turn right into a fast right-hander that's very sort of crowned in the road. There's actually a crest that you'll go over. So as you turn in, the car goes off camber pretty much through the whole apex, which means if you get on the power a bit too early, it's easy to understeer wide and into the gravel, or at least drop two wheels into the gravel. If you get too aggressively on the power and a bit too late, then maybe the back end will start to kick out. It's going to be very interesting to see there. It's a tricky little corner, that right-hander, and it's critical because it's onto quite a long straight. So immediately out of that, it curves to the left, but that will be flat out. So we're basically down a long straight into the hairpin, which is probably going to be the main overtaking point on the track, because there will be a long enough straight to do some slipstreaming. So that right-hander, left-hander combination is going to be important to get that right, to get good speed onto the first of the long straights. Down into the hairpin, as I said, it's quite a sharp hairpin. It's not a wide one like Druids or some of the others. It's a case of getting in and getting out as quickly as you can. Generally, you'll try and bias it to a faster exit, so a later apex. But that means running in very deep, very wide on the left-hand side of the track, and it opens up a huge door for someone to throw the car up the inside and do an overtaking manoeuvre on you. So definitely one that's going to be a tricky one to manage during the race. But yeah, important to get a good exit out of that, because it is up it's quite a steep hill actually up towards the start line. So there will be a bit of a drag race going on out of that hairpin. Probably not enough to make a move on the last lap, but again, we'll have to wait and see. But certainly a good exit out of that hairpin, and there's easily time to tow up alongside and pass someone down the start straight and into turn 1 and Duffer's Dip. So yeah, an important hairpin corner there. And that will be a very fast and frantic lap of Knockhill. Like I say, in the reverse direction in a 270 I was doing 57s. This way round in a 310, normally we're kind of 1 to 2 seconds a lap quicker, but they're probably slightly longer lap times. I'd have thought maybe we'll be doing 56s, 55s on a good day, but we shall see. It depends on the weather. At the moment, the forecast is fairly dry. For anyone who's in the UK, you'll know that the last week or so we've had really hot. It's been really hot and sunny, clear skies mostly as well for the last week or so. It looks like a little bit of cloud is coming in at Knockhill, but it should still be dry. Only sort of 10% chance of rain across the weekend. So we're assuming when we go in there that it's going to be nice and dry and decent weather. But yeah, we'll have to see how the results come along. For those of you who saw the Donington review, I posted up the championship positions, so I'll put another copy up here for you. But you can see that I am actually sitting second at the moment behind Pete Waters, which is great. So when we head into Knockhill, he's the obvious competition, but like I said in the other video, Lars, Harry Cook, a whole host of other people are quick, and it's going to be hard fought throughout the entire weekend. So I'm up there from Thursday. So before we even get on track, we've got the small matter of about a 6 or 7 hour drive up the motorway. It's a bit of a long old slog to get to Knockhill, but at least the track's worth it when you get there. So yeah, we've got a long drive to get there. We'll get all set up, and then we've got testing on Thursday and Friday ahead of qualifying in race 1 on Saturday, and then race 2 on Sunday, as you can see in the timetable. So yeah, thanks guys. Follow along on all of my Instagram and Facebook channels so you can get some live updates from the track. And I'll try and do the same as before, where I put a summary video out afterwards on YouTube. But also remember that the BRSCC and Caterham Cars YouTube channels will be showing all the action live. All of the races this year are live streamed. And unlike Donington, we've actually got a grid to ourselves. So hopefully this time around the cameras will be focusing on the front of the 310s, and that's exactly where, fingers crossed, I'm going to be. So yeah, looking forward to hopefully some decent footage. And it's great when you guys jump on. I know I had a lot of good comments in the videos before, so keep going with all of that. The support really does make it brilliant for me. I really enjoy it, and yeah, it just helps me find that extra little bit of energy to get good results and keep putting these videos out for you. So thanks guys. Look forward to hopefully a good weekend, and I'll see you soon with some race highlights. Cheers.